Hello, Nico. Good evening.
Good.
So for your first question, videography relies a lot on professionalism as well as integrating fun and unique ideas. How will you manage to balance both aspects in your work?
Um, I will be accurately representing AB Samahan by combining professionalism with creativity by working with the pillars in order to accurately represent what they want AB Samahan to be. For example, HSC is one of the biggest and most professional events that AB Samahan holds, and I will work with academic throughout the entire time in order to accurately represent what they think HSC means to them. Because at the end of the day, I just want to create great content that falls in line with the Constitution and falls in line with guidelines that makes us look like a real organization.
Okay, thank you. And then your second question is, a challenge that comes from being historian is the pressure of inclusivity within your work. How will you ensure that various groups are represented and no one person or group is overrepresented?
Well, an idea I had for that actually was capturing our GBMs, because when it comes to events such as HSC, KAA, FCN, you see a lot of the same faces over and over again because those are the people who want to be seen. This is what they do. They like being seen. They like being involved with the organization. But for those who aren't as involved, a lot of times they just show up at GBM. And I feel that if I could capture more GBM events, like such as the icebreaker portions or like even our political um, reports, it would create a better, it would be an easier way of showing what Samahan is and who's part of Samahan. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kyla. Thank you, Nico. We will now proceed to have another member from Elections Committee ask you 2 questions from the audience.
Hi, Nico. Your first audience question is, given that this role will require you to be at events to document them, high levels of organization and communication is needed. Please give an example of when you have showcased these skills.
As mentioned in my speech, I am a current scriptwriter for FCN. And with that, I had to direct my own group because there were 2 short films and I had to direct one of the 2, obviously. And in order to best communicate with each of the members, we created a band. And in that band, I made sure to update my actors on what times we will be meeting and what we should be going over. And if anybody didn't respond, I would usually text them through band or through iMessage directly to make sure they knew what their task was.
And your last audience question is, someone comes up to you and expresses that they feel like the same people are being highlighted over and over again. What do you do to address this problem?
In order to address this problem, as I mentioned before, I would let them know that I'm going to start, first and foremost, apologize for that. But solution-wise, I would start recording more of the GBMs, as I mentioned before. And I would also create some different ideas for our social media posts as well as YouTube channels. Like I mentioned before, I could reach out to different fams and interview the ones that aren't seen as much, as there are many members and many fams out there. I feel like an interview or a video featuring them would be helpful and definitely show a lot more of what Samahan is and who's in the group or the organization.